Welcome back to episode 12 of the Spacetime sessions. This week we're gonna talk about the ugly and almost disastrous win that happened yesterday morning with the Steelers and Vikings. The first international game the Steelers have played in over 10 years, and it just so happened that the last time that they played overseas was against the Vikings back in 2013. But let's just get straight into it. What do you think about yesterday?
So let's start by me saying that I'm glad we won, of course. And, heart attack Steelers is a real thing.
Yeah.
I will never not get used to thinking that we have it in the bag. At one point we were up 24 to 6, was it?
Yeah.
24 to 6. And somehow we found a way to make this game competitive, which is crazy. So let me start with the positives. I think we did well in various aspects of the game. I think the run game was good despite the O line. The O line is still not doing what I think the O line can and needs to do. But like for now, I'm going to stay positive, right? So I think the run game was good. I think Aaron did well. He did much better than he did last week at getting rid of the ball. He still ate a couple of sacks that he shouldn't have. I think the defense is coming up with plays when they need to, right? And special teams. But I think if I had to grade them on a whole, I think the performance was probably a solid B plus for me. What about you?
So just like I want to get into the positives. We were able to run the ball for the first time this whole season pretty well. I think we got 130 yards, and I think we were averaging about 63, somewhere like around that number. So the fact that we were able to do that, it went a long way. You know, Kenneth Gainwell came in pretty huge. The fact that Jalen Warren was out 30 minutes before kickoff, and the fact that he was able to step in and fill those shoes, he did well. Aaron Rodgers looked well. DK Metcalf, we were finally able to get him the ball. He went off,
I
and
forgot to mention him, yeah.
yeah, when it came to the defense, uh, we had our moments, and I thought we played good in the first three quarters. We were getting sacks, we were flying around the ball, we created turnovers, and then, but just sticking to the positives now. If I yeah, I'm gonna say B plus is like a pretty fair grade.
Okay. So, and again, me being me, right? That's the extent of the positives that because I'm gonna say now again, um, we have friends, mutual friends, who went out there explicitly for this game, and I felt bad for them. I really did because I was 100% convinced we were going to lose this game.
Hmm.
Like 100%. I was not expecting anything other than an L yesterday. I was pleasantly surprised, but again, I'm one of those guys that okay, I'll take 10 minutes to celebrate the win, but then we need to really look at what's happening.
Like what we need to fix, and I feel like the negatives far outweigh the positives when it comes to this team.
100%. And listen, you can't look at this team with rose-colored glasses or continue to do that because if the Steelers want to make a deep push into the playoffs come January, these things need to be addressed
Hmm.
yesterday. 350 yards, I'm pretty sure, is what we gave up. That cannot continue to be a thing. I don't care. We had 6 sacks. Was that?
I believe so. And, going to what you just said, when we come to play these bigger teams, 350 yards will probably lose us a game.
Oh, absolutely. You're not giving up 350 yards to the Ravens and think you're going to win the game. That's not going to happen. And like we said last week, we've been handed pretty much a nice little run of games after the bye week because of injuries, right? So the games that we have coming out of the bye, and hopefully Joey's back and Alex is back, and maybe those are reasons why the defense hasn't played up to snuff. But going to Tomlin's next man up philosophy, somebody needs to be doing that, and to be continuously giving up 350 yards. I'm not trying to shit on Carson Wentz, even though it's going to sound exactly like I'm doing that. Giving up 350 yards to Carson Wentz is crazy.
Yeah.
There's no way we continue to do that with the elite players we have coming up on the schedule and think we're going to get away with W's. That's not happening.
Yeah. So now that we took the shift over into the negative side, I'm going to get straight into what bothered me. And what bothered you was that not so more the first drive, but the first half in general. It seems that the Steelers chose not to guard Justin Jefferson. And there were some plays where we were lucky that Wentz did not look his way, where he was wide open. And it's just very upsetting because you could probably say he is the best or probably top 2, top 3 receiver in the league, and you're leaving him wide open on these plays. And it was just so frustrating because it's like, what more do you need to see? Because he had, I believe, 8 catches and 100 yards in the first half, or at least close to it.
Yeah. And I was telling your mother yesterday in the morning before the game, she was asking me what I thought, and I told her, like I've been telling everyone, I told Buzz, one of our friends, he asked me, what do you think about the game? He goes, because, I picked the Steelers. I was like, no, take the Vikings. He was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, bro, take the Vikings. So he texted me after the game. He's like, you're a prick. I was like, bro, I don't know what to tell you, man. That should not have happened.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. I stand by that. And again, it's not to shit on the Steelers, on TJ and Cam and all these guys. It's not. This, to me, continues to be a coaching failure. The Steelers won't pay. They won't pay. The last time that we had a really good O-line was when Mike Munchak was our offensive line coordinator. And guess what? He didn't come from inside the organization. They went out and paid that guy. Now, it seems like everyone in any position of importance since then has been someone who the Steelers believe. They put in their time. They know the system. The Steelers have faith in them, which is just another way of saying we're going to promote you and we're not going to pay for someone who's qualified to come in from the outside. And that's on Tomlin.
Yeah.
And Rooney, of course.
Well, yeah, but so going back to the game, I think that when we look at the negative side, well, because it's also a negative and a positive, because we're going back to the Justin Jefferson and how we were able to handle him. And it was like he tore us up in the first half, but I don't think he caught a single ball, or maybe he caught one in the second half. So I guess I'll give in-game adjustment, even though it came pretty late, to Tomlin in that. But what I didn't like, and I feel like this has been a problem the whole year, is that we have our offensive coordinator who apparently loves his tight ends, and yet Pat didn't catch one ball yesterday. And in New England, I think he caught one, maybe two. I'll maybe say two, but it feels like he has like 5 catches or 4 the whole year. Why is he not getting the ball?
And one of the ones that he had was what? Across the middle, right? Which for some reason now, we had Kenny Pickett. I kind of get you don't want to give that guy, have him throwing the ball over the middle of the field, whatever. Then we had Justin Fields. Not so much I didn't buy into it then. Now you have Aaron friggin' Rodgers, right? There is probably at this time no one with a higher football IQ in the league than Aaron Rodgers. I'm not talking about his arm, which is not shot. He is not no Drew Brees in his final year. He's not Ben Roethlisberger in his final 2 years. He can still sling the ball. That we don't still utilize the middle of the field, like you said, with someone who supposedly loves their tight ends is baffling to me.
And also, you saw the one play when we did use it to DK over the middle. What happened? He took it to the house.
And Amendola made a career out of that route. The one guy who had better hands over the middle that I can remember in recent history was Heath Miller. He was Ben's safety pillow for so many years. Why do we consistently not see Pat out there?
Mm-hmm.
He's an athlete. I think he's a better athlete than Heath was. His hands are
Yeah.
probably not as good as Heath's were, but he's a better athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not getting him the ball? You wanted Jonnu so bad. He's here. You don't throw him the ball.
Yeah.
What I did like, and it's so funny to see such an enormous human being move the way he does, is Washington. Uh, I like that they're trying to get him more in the offense, but how about some more two tight end sets, some more three tight end sets? You know, if people on the other side of the line look at that, it'll start questioning, okay, is someone going to break off the line? What are they? And then we'll run it up the gut, or we'll do a little screen, or like get creative. We said this
Yeah.
last
There's
week.
just no creativity. Yeah.
There's none. I look at Arthur Smith, and I'm like, it really is like watching Canada 2.1, because there are instances and times where it seems like he's being a little more aggressive in his calls, and then it's like watching Matt Canada all the time. You know, it's frustrating as a Steelers fan to watch a Steelers game, then watch an offense like the Chiefs offense, watch an offense like the Vikings offense, watch an offense like the Lions offense, and be like, all right, some of those guys, they have better positional players than we do, but we can't be creative like that.
Yeah. Exactly. And I feel like we've spent this time, talking so much about the hate or the negative sides towards the Steelers, but for those who like are watching, it's like, I'm happy that we got the win. We're 3-1 going into our bye week. Sure, there's a lot of things that I want to fix,
I
but
hate that it's so early.
yeah, true. But at the same time, it's like I'll take these results. We could easily be 4-0, but I'm more or less okay with being 3-1 going into our bye week.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But again, it's this comes from a place of uh, not a hater, not, well, why can't you be happy with the win, whatever, which I hate because that's Tomlin's mentality. You said it the other day. Tomlin doesn't give a shit. A win is a win is a win is a win for that guy.
Hmm.
I feel like he's not like me. Like, after the game is over, I'm happy for 15 minutes, and then I'm already looking at all the things that we did wrong that we can and should fix. I feel like he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that it translates week after week. I guess he did something or said something or whatever, because what happened yesterday was not the result I was expecting whatsoever.
No. I do believe that now. So now, we got our bye week coming up. It's a chance for, our injured players to come back healthy, or our injured players to maybe get that extra week. So now we're coming out the bye and we're playing the Browns. And it's one of those, like, we're gonna win that game. I'm just very confident. It's probably the first time I can honestly say, like, we're going to win that game.
Really, you think so? Because
W-
don't
w-
forget they beat the Packers.
True, but like every team, or yeah, every team is gonna have those. Wow, they won that game like Giants did yesterday. Nobody picked them to beat the Chargers, but they somehow did it.
With our quarterback. Damn it.
Exactly, but they somehow did it, and I think that we'll beat Cleveland, and I actually think it won't be like an ugly win. I think that'll probably be like a 27-10 win or something like that, but
We're there or we're home?
we're home. But
We're home.
now I feel like our secondary or our defense is going to kind of be in the same position as it was yesterday, because now I think Highsmith will be back. Joey might be back, but then now it's like, how long is Ramsey out for? Because now we have Joey and Slay, which a lot of people were so hyped about the Slay pickup, and I was too, because if you're going off of numbers, he was a top 10 corner last year, numbers wise, he was. But this season, it's like we're seeing a completely different player. Same thing with Ramsey. Remember on that replay when he got hurt where he just got cooked by Jordan Addison? Like,
And my go-to has always been, well, if we're getting this guy, and everyone's why did X team let him go?
mm-hmm.
That's always my go-to. I'm like, okay, that's great, but there's a reason. More often than not, there's a reason why X team let X player go,
Yeah.
and you can see it in Slay. When I saw the news, I was like, wow, okay, I kind of like this.
Yeah, like I wasn't too excited, but I wasn't like that's a horrible pickup. Like I was like, all right, that's like something. Like
But and then with the other guys, I didn't like Jalen, and I don't know that it's karma, but I didn't like him fake hobbling into the end zone after the touchdown that got called back.
and then it happened to him, and
And then it happened to him. I'm like, bro, like, on what planet do you think that's funny? Amusing, comical? I don't get it.
I think Jalen has reached the age where he's still a good player, but I just think he's reached the age where he cannot cover these guys one on one anymore. You know,
He needs to be honest with himself.
give him a cushion, play zone or have him play safety like how we were doing. But from what I saw,
Exactly.
I don't think he's at the age where he can cover those guys. Jordan Addison, who's been in the league for 3 years now, just cooked him on that route. It wasn't even fair what he did to him.
It's not. And here's the thing, though. I think I am certain that I read somewhere that he would be open to a position change.
Which has happened. We have seen him in the safety
Yeah,
position.
right. And I think he did well there. I understand the ego probably part of it. It's still in there. You know, he thinks he can still do it. He could probably still do it with guys who are not don't have the time in the league and don't really know how to take advantage of situational matchups.
Yeah,
He can
like
do that.
yeah, like for example, you put him up against. I'm just trying to think of like vet receivers in the league right now. Like if you put him up against Cortland Sutton, he could probably do well versus him. If you put him up against guys like Jamar Chase will honestly probably do insane things to Jalen Ramsey. Like
Yeah, close to illegal. So, but that's the thing too. Is I'm like, okay. And the thing that I hate about Tomlin is Tomlin going to say, at some point, have the conversation with him and be like, listen, bro, I think we need to have a conversation about you and where you're going to line up going forward in terms of what's best for the team. Can he still play football? Absolutely he can. He absolutely can still play football. He ain't guarding no Jordan Addison anymore.
and now he's gonna come out and now going to say if he does play Cleveland, what he's gonna have to guard Jerry Jeudy. I don't think he can do that.
Yeah.
The week after that,
That's
he's got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I don't think he could do that.
Well, I think if that situation arises, and it very well may, the thing that people are going to say is, if he has a big game against those guys, they're going to be like, well, you see, he can still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to remember that
Who's their quarterback?
Bob from around the corner was throwing them the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not Burrows. So let's take that down a bunch of notches. And again, for people listening, it's like, oh my God, you guys talk so negative. No, we talk realistically.
Because I just want to see the mindset we have and what we expect of this team. We want these things fixed in order to have that happen. So obviously the goal for me and you is to see a Super Bowl every year. But in order to see that, we need to get these things fixed by so-and-so. With
Right.
so-and-so.
Right. I think this mentality of, oh, yeah, it's great. We got the win. Let's go have some beers. Oh, fantastic. And then refusing to acknowledge and, more importantly, fix or address the things that we did wrong or didn't do well is going to end up in what? First round wild card, first round exit.
Mm-hmm.
right? We're still only 4 games into the season.
Yeah.
There's time to look at these things and be like, okay, we need to address this. We cannot be giving up 350 yards of offense to anyone, much less the Ravens, the Bills. Well, not Cincinnati anymore. But
Yeah,
still.
like I'll just say that I think that, being that we're going into our bye, I hope and I think things will get fixed. Um, I want to highlight two things because these two things really stood out to me, which I like that the Steelers are doing well. One is that I want to give a shout out to Kenneth Gainwell because he stepped up huge, 100
Big time.
yards and 2 touchdowns. I couldn't even tell you when was the last time I saw him do that with the Eagles. But what I do like that we're doing is that we're doing Holcomb and Payton Wilson in situational downs, which I love that. Which we use Holcomb during the running downs, which we see him make impact. I guess that year off from that injury, it didn't get to his head like it did with Bush because he's playing amazing. Um,
Totally off track here for 2 seconds. I understand Bush is going bananas over in Cleveland, is it?
Is he? I didn't even know he's still. I did
Yeah.
not know he's still in the league. And then Payne Wilson, which comes in on more the passing plays, and credit to him with that chase down tackle on Addison when he ran almost the whole field to track him down.
You know what? I think, and yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I think anyone else,
Would have just give up.
99% of the people are like, oh, he's going to score. And maybe rightfully so,
Mm-hmm.
but he did not. I was like, wow, this dude.
A
And he
linebacker
got him
too.
down.
It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, again, folks, this is not us just being Debbie Downers. Comes from a place of wanting to see this team hoist a Lombardi trophy in February. That's all this is. And then just the last thing I'm going to end on. I believe one of my friends texted me last night. I haven't looked. I haven't seen anything. Maybe you know. We can end on this. I believe Calvin Austin's going to be out for a little bit.
So I kind of saw the exact opposite. On Twitter, he posted saying, "Hey guys, I'm fine. I'll be
Okay.
back after our bye week, so I'm gonna trust it from him if he's saying that." So
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good.
yeah.
Good. Like I said, I just one of my friends texted me and I was like, oh, great. All right, guys. That's it for this episode of the Spacetime Sessions. Please don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Thanks for your time, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.